Y2K Nostalgia in the house with Jason Paige, recording this live, going out direct from the Jason Paige Loop Station. Y2K Nostalgia, what's up? Jason Paige here. How are you, sir? Sorry I was late.
Good.
This I couldn't do all this on my phone, and it's the first time I've got back to my looper in over a year, and I'm very excited to be here with you instead of here with you. It's way better to have this.
I gotta say, I was not expecting that introduction.
All right. Excellent, sir.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of Y2K Nostalgic. We are here with Jason Paige to kick off this exciting experience.
Jason Paige on Y2K Nostalgia.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Jason is the vocalist behind the original Pokémon theme song.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
And I am absolutely floored to have you on the show, Jason. It's honestly, if I would have asked myself as a kid if I would have this opportunity, I probably wouldn't have bet against it. I would not have thought it was happening, but we're here, and I'm excited for kicking off this show because it's been a while. I've wanted to start a little web talk show where I go and reach out and try and talk to people who had a hand in making things that are nostalgic from my childhood and many others, and so I couldn't think of a better person to kick this off with than you, so thank you for coming on the show.
You're very welcome.
And,
Thank you.
Yeah, and a little bit of a teaser. Jason has agreed to do a little bit of a prize giveaway for the celebration of the Y2 Nostalgic, and we will be talking about that at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So then let's go ahead and throw it to the first section where we're going to dive into and chat with you a little bit about the story behind how you became the voice of the iconic Pokemon theme song.
There's a thing called the jingle. You guys know about the jingle? Is the small little earworm that gets in your ear like
Subway, eat fresh.
or the quilted quick picker upper or be all that you can be. And, Legomania. There are all of these things. They're earworms that get in your ears, and that's how you get infected with products that you buy. And I went into the earworm industry in 1995 and started singing earworms for all of those various companies that I just earwormed and others among some you might recognize, like when you get nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, things like that. Another earworm that actually gives you upset stomach and diarrhea when you hear it. So this led me to distribute my voice and my vocal talents throughout the New York City area to numbers of jingle houses, music houses that produce music for TV. They produce music for for movies, for TV, for artists, for all kinds of things, but primarily for TV and film. And one of these houses had the assignment to do the Pokemon theme song for the anime that they knew was coming into town, and they brought me in to sing the song, which they knew was in the style of like a young rock male sound. The brief actually was, we thought that it would be about Ash. So that's the brief that they wrote and sent out to the Jingle House, and the Jingle House passed it down to me, and we discussed it and did it, and the rest is history with Jason Paige.
That is absolutely phenomenal. So there's actually jingle houses then?
Yeah.
Where
so
their main source is just working with theme songs?
So when you Y2K needs a theme song, and you what do you want it to be like? Well, we want it to kind of sound like Def Leppard meets Michael Jackson. And then, what's the lyrics? You write your lyrics for your song and you send it over to the music guy, and the music guy says, "Oh yeah, we can do that. It's gonna be about $10,000 down, and then we're gonna charge you, per day and per update and per this and per that. I don't know exactly how that particular jingle house work. I'm just saying, you make your deals. You make your deals with your music people, and they create your music for you if you're not doing it yourself. And because you're paying them, you dictate exactly what you want. And Pokemon did that to great success because they had a really great template, and the lyrical template that came out of whatever they distributed to the Jingle House created this incredible it's like the 10 commandments of Pokemon. It's like the Bible of Pokemon is the lyrics of the song. I'm like Moses coming down from the mountain. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Listen to these commandments well, people. You'll live them throughout your entire life. To catch them is your real test. And to train them is your cause. Commandment number 4. No, so, it's they really had all this stuff embedded into the ecosystem of Pokemon before, based on the cards, based on the games, and when it came to this country, they just translated what was already working into English, pretty much. The ethics of the game. You teach me, and I'll teach you. Our courage will pull us through. So, that's how it all went down.
That makes complete sense. No, because I was even one of the things I was mentioning here, and I wrote down in my notes, and that was when they bring you on as the team. And that, do you have a lot of control over the performance aspect, or is that very particular kind of like what they're looking for per se?
Yeah, well, like I said, they have the brief. They know the kind of sound they want, and that I can do that kind of sound. The producers at the music house know I can do that sound. That's why they've called me, because they think they can give me a couple of ideas, and I can make what they think is the right way happen. And then I go in and then I say, it wasn't even Gotta Catch 'Em All. It was Catch 'Em If You Can. There were lyric changes. There are different things happening. So
very interesting.
Things go back and forth. It's not just you just do it and then it's done. You do it. You send it to them. Do they like it? Y2K nostalgia. 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 Is that the beat that you want, sir? Or should we change it? No, I want it more like 9 Inch Nails. And then you go back to the drawing board. You change it. It wasn't that totally different with Pokemon, but there was Catch 'Em If You Can. And it was Catch 'Em If You Can. And then they went to Gotta Catch 'Em All. And then I sung many different, versions of that. Gotta catch 'em all. 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 You just do a whole bunch of them, and then they go through and edit and pick and discuss it after I leave the studio and figure out. Gotta catch 'em all is what they liked.
That is like super neat, because if you would have asked me, I would have never have expected that, the Gotta Catch 'Em All wasn't the original intent. And so I'm really happy to hear that it's kind of like a collaboration, because at first when I was thinking about maybe it was just like, kind of you come in quickly, here's the script, record it as quickly kind of like in an afternoon or something, and then you're gone. So I'm really happy to hear that it was like a give and take and really a collaboration to bring it into its final form.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a collaboration between myself when I'm there, but I leave and then they collaborate on their own with the producers, with Pokemon, to make sure that what they're delivering is right, and then it comes back with changes, and then they call me back, and I come back and collaborate for that moment. So yeah, I mean, everybody, the entire Pokemon industry is a giant pyramid of amazing collaboration. From the top, giving everybody the licensing rights to collaborate with all of the products that you have laid out in front of you, made by different companies and different artists creating things, collaborating. It's a testament to the collaborative power of Pokemon. People really, it's both incredibly collaborative and incredibly individualistic as well. People catch Pokemon in their own way. They imagine their own way to do it, and then they collaborate and share that information in teams. So Pokemon spans the gamut of good things in the universe.
That is super neat. I honestly, that is fantastic. When you first heard about this opportunity to be a part of the Pokemon theme song, did you have any idea at that point in time what Pokemon was, or the kind of impact and what this theme song would grow into in the following years?
Well, nobody knew what it was unless they had been to Japan. They sent us a little video of it so we could see it in the session and knew basically what we were going to be singing to. In terms of knowing whether it's going to be the success that it is, we all want to know the future, and we try to shape the future by our actions. And I didn't know what it was going to be, but I did know that I'm going to step up to the plate and go like it's a grand slam home run in the bottom of the ninth. And like I do with anything I'm doing here on this interview, this is the Grand Slam home run interview. 75 million people watch this interview. It's the most watched interview in the history of interviews. The Y2K Nostalgia Jason Paige interview broke all records. So we're always trying to do the best thing, the very best, like no one ever was. To be the very best in whatever it is you're doing. So, you go in and right, not to, at that exact time, actually, I was receiving checks from Legomania, because I had written that and sang, on that commercial as well. So I knew how big Legomania became. And Pokemon was, a tiny little blip on the radar compared to Lego that had been this giant thing that I had been involved in. So I knew things like that were possible. This has exceeded Legomania, but not by that much, because Lego is still a huge thing, and nobody knows that I'm the Legomania guy either.
I honestly didn't know that either myself. I did not know that you were behind the Lego one. So those are two, in terms of the industry now, major icons that you were a part of in the early stages, you could say.
In the early stages of building those companies through the work that I did with them. I was in. It's amazing because those two companies have sustained, and they've also partnered up at the Lego store. We've got Pokemon stuff. Or we've got Pokemon made out of Lego, and they're like blending together at some point. Yeah, so I know that things can go that far, and I'm shooting for that far regardless. I know that this interview can reach 50 million views. If you do the work right now
yes.
to make it as compelling as possible, then it'll, then that's the whole point. We're going for the Grand Slam every single time we step up to the plate.
Exactly.
Now batting for Y2K Nostalgia, please welcome Jason Paige.
I love it. So, yeah, I'm on the same thing where it's it doesn't matter what I'm working on, either put 100% into it, and what becomes out of it becomes out of it.
That's
it. You never know. You just never know.
Plant the seeds as you go along and continue, and I turn around and the jungle of Pokemon is behind me now. Just from a seed, not only that I planted, but that you planted. Everybody, when they consume Pokemon is planting a seed, and when they invest in their own imagination, they become the ecosystem, because they're creating more products and making these seeds from the individuals who are consuming it. It becomes the ecosystem again, driven by the individuals. Look at this show in and of itself is a product of somebody outside of Pokemon developing on their own and planting their own seed. And it's growing. So Congratulations, bro.
I 100% agree. No, it's a phenomenal community, and there's the fact that like even 20 years from when like I first watched the show, that they're still making new content. There's new generations of fans. It truly is like a really unique community in that. And looking at the theme song, what is your personal favorite part of the theme song? If you had to choose, I know you mentioned that you may have suggested some changes in the lyrics and that. So what's your personal either favorite line or favorite vocal segment from the theme song, if you had to choose?
Wow. Well, there's one part that is particularly rocking. The yeah. When I sang yeah right before the guitar solo. Yeah! Yeah!
Okay, yeah.
It's really fucking high and really hard, and all of a sudden it's like I don't know how it's just it's rocking out at the highest level. It's Jason Paige, balls to the wall, grit, holding his fist like this, having to do it. It's not there's no lightly flicking through that in the vocal saving your voice.
Yeah, there's
that.
no just like little like
you can't yeah.
you can't do it.
You know, the other parts, there's backgrounds and everything. You teach me and I'll teach you. I don't know if that's the right key. I don't have perfect pitch, but those parts you can kind of half voice it if you needed to. As
I get your point, yeah. But you need to just commit to it.
Yeah! It's got to be way up there. And I'm also like, am I going to sing this thing today? I'm going to scream that one note. I blow my voice out in one song. With this one song, and I'm sure if you've done it at karaoke, you know what I'm talking about. No, you got to have a good vocal technique, and but in the studio, you're not worried about vocal technique. Now I've learned a lot about singing since 1998 when this went down, but this is about singing live. Now I like that part so much because we're not worried about how to do it live in the studio. We are just giving it our all. We're hitting it out of the park. And hitting it out of the park doesn't mean creating something that's going to be performed later, because this is a jingle for TV. You're never thinking it's going to go.
That's a very good point. I never thought of it that way. Yeah.
It's just for that purpose. It's not for the purpose of a band with a guy who's going to play it on guitar and tour around like the average hit single experience. So it takes on a different sort of energy. I did have a band in my first couple of bands. I made that mistake of singing too hard and too high in the recordings.
Oh, okay.
And then not being able to do it live because it was just too high and too hard. Now, since I'm more accomplished and I understand how to make those sounds without hurting myself in a little more consistent way, but two different mediums, recording and live. Yeah!
When the Pokemon first aired in I think it was 1998 when it aired in the US and the theme song went, did you see any immediate reactions to the theme song, or was it something that kind of over a chunk of time kind of developed this following and appreciation for?
Well, it went to the 1 minute opening became a 3-minute song months after. And that 3-minute song then got distributed on To Be a Master, the album, which also had I'm on the road to the Radiant City, meet my friends along the way. Which is another Jason Paige performance on that album. But that became an album and it got played. So now all of a sudden we got the song having life outside of the TV show, on radio stations, on Billboard charts, on Disney's top tracks, and it was on Disney's top track for the record amount of time. So it already had some life outside of it, and all of a sudden I was this artist, even though I wasn't listed as an artist on the credits of the TV show, but when they made it into a record, I was then the artist who sang the song. So now the artist who sang this theme song is now being played on the radio. People are starting to know my name a little bit through the success of the song at that time. Then it resurged again in 2016 with the Pokemon Go. Between then and 2016, I had zero contact with the song, with the ecosystem, other than it being on my resume and passing Pokemon everywhere for the majority of Pokemon's life. And in 2016, when Pokemon Go came out, people started banging the song again on Spotify. Everybody wanted to know who's the guy who sang the song that is now, currently 2016, popular again. Even though the song never really went away, because people are still listening to it on their video, on their tapes, and all the old episodes, and they still know the Ten Commandments when they wink. And then I'm still the voice in their head every time they play Pokemon. They're not thinking of Billy Crawford's version when they're choosing their next card. I mean, they might be. I don't know. I don't want to say knock his version. It was very good.
I'm going with it's most likely your version.
It was very good. It was very good. But I laid down the Ten Commandments so that it's not even really about me. It's about what the song means to them when they experience it in the beginning. The subsequent themes didn't have the same impact because it didn't resonate with them as children.
No, that's a fantastic, and that's also like extremely unique to kind of look at it from that perspective. Because I didn't also realize that they had separated it to an album that had gone on to be on charts levels and stuff like that.
Yes.
I always saw it like, because for me, it was just an iconic show that I watched growing up. And at that time, you couldn't skip, introductions. You couldn't, and so it became a part where you knew that was the song that would then get you prepared for the show that you loved, essentially.
Exactly.
It was like a trigger in that form. And so...
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels.
I was ready for that show when that happened.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a faithful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship.
You're ready for Gilligan right then. Come on, everybody, hurry up. So, that feeling is there. But that feeling then translated into the song, and that's how that whole song developed, which is great.
Very cool, yeah. And I think that's really cool how Pokemon Go kind of worked as like a way to bring it back kind of full circle. And
yes,
that's unique as well. I didn't just in my head personally, I never would have connected those dots. So it's unique that you mentioned that.
Yeah, Pokemon Go, and I wrote a song for Pokemon Go for that community of people.
Go, Pokemon Go! You can find them anywhere. Go, Pokemon Go! Let your heart just take you there. Show the world what you know. Catch the world with a throw. Pokemon Go!
Anyway, sounds kind of like that. But it needed a sister song to the theme song for these people doing this thing that is uniting everybody and helping them develop their individuality at the same time. People were doing Pokemon Go crawls. They're doing Pokemon Go products, the little portable chargers. There was all kinds of commerce and exchange.
True,
people
true.
are selling their own Pokemon Go accounts, and their knowledge of how to catch Pokemon to each other. The knowledge is into power.
Understand the power that's inside
Of all of them, and they were going out and creating more value for the community, So anyway, and then it spilled off into me, which is nice because I needed to wake up to pop out of my Pokeball and wake up to see how much happiness and greatness it has created in the world, and not just be kind of thinking it was really investigating it and seeing how much joy it's created in the world and feeling incredible, profound gratitude to know that I was a part of it as well, and as much a part of it, less a part of it than you and everybody else that invested their time and energy. So it's thanks to everybody that this whole thing has happened, really. Not thanks to me or Pokemon, but more thanks to the Pokemon. People.
Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people.
Pokemon.
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 Power to the people.
Power to the Pokemon people. Jason Paige right here on Y2K Nostalgia.
I'm just sitting here watching you do it all live in front of me, and I'm like, what you just did would have probably taken me like a week trying to puzzle it out, and I'm watching you piece it together in front of me live.
That's the beauty of the Roland
RC 505 loop station, able to
Oh, yeah.
make songs in a second.
So I guess the next area we'll move into now that we've learned a little bit about the story of kind of like how you became a part of the Pokemon theme song is a little bit about we've touched on it a bit already, the impact and importance of a theme song. When I think about the topic, I picture, Pokemon obviously is one, but even like Friends, MASH back in the day, all of these successful shows had like a successful theme song.
My good Loopy, hold on, you need to see what's going on so that you can go. That was my bad attempt at the MASH theme song. But you know what's happening. People are about to die when you hear that song. You're sad. They're gonna carry people in on stretchers and war is raging and the public has nothing to say about it.
It is, yeah, and it does like a great job in terms of theme songs. I've always seen them as a fantastic way of kind of like, I guess like uniting a show. I guess it's like the one piece that ties all the episodes together, other than the characters. And so the first thing I was going to ask you is, from your perspective, someone who had been in the hand of making a lot of different theme songs, what is the importance of having a good theme song and the effect of having a good theme song for a show?
When you have a theme song, you must have Moses walking down from the mountain, offering everyone the knowledge and advice and information they need for the journey of the next 22 minutes and 33 seconds, minus the infomercials and horrible commercials selling you products you don't need. Ignore that, but know that every challenge along the way, with courage, I will face, I will battle every day to claim my rightful place.
Sorry, it's getting very silly. Yeah, the importance of a theme song is Moses coming down from the mountain with the tablets of what it is that's going to happen. Gilligan's Island lays it out perfectly. With Gilligan, a skipper too, millionaire and his wife, the movie star, introduced the characters. And that's what they kind of did with the Poke Rap. So they couldn't really introduce everybody. They needed more music to do it. They couldn't do it in just the one song. But you get introduced to the themes and the reality that you're going to, the journey that you're going to go on. Just like that MASH song, you're sad and people are going to die soon. So that's how you feel in the theme song. With Pokemon, you're ready to go. You're ready to take over the world, ready to be the very best. And you're ready to, to advance civilization, this civilization that is in your imagination, all based on your idea of Pokemon and how to make them better so that you can be better and then transfer your greatness to them.
I like how you worded it where it kind of prepares you for the show that you're about to watch, because it really is, as much as, it's a small part of the show, and it doesn't necessarily in direct way affect the plot of each episode, but it really does set the tone and, like you said, explain all these characters and really kind of bring the person into that world in a 60-second or less short amount of time.
And then it can keep them in that world after they leave when that song is still rolling around in their head. Can't wait till the next day when they get home to watch it again.
Like, why is it that some people will have a theme song stuck in their head but like not be able to remember an exact plot per se from one of their favorite shows,
I think that the whole world is it's vibrations. Everything is vibrations. We in the Western world were trained to appreciate the 5-1. Our ears automatically want to go 5-1. We are brainwashed with these earworms because we seek the resolution that the 5 brings to the 1. It's kind of like, you want to see a figure drawn and then it just stops, like a figure 8. If you draw the 8 and then you stop right there, you want to just connect the end of it. That's the 5-1 in the Western ear. It doesn't happen in other cultures and other civilizations. Other societies have different musical scales. But in our scale, that's what we do. We do 5-1. So these men or Subway Eat Fresh, it's down 5-1. We just give everybody that resolution. We give them the word and the satisfying resolution of completing the 5-1 that everybody is. Basically, we're programmed, we're trained by the vibrations of that musical thing. But that musical thing existed in music history. It was discovered by Bach, actually, when he created the piano, the well-tempered clavier, and he found that he could find in between notes the exact. He could divide them in this way that were in 12, and that's why we have the 12-tone scale. So.
Oh, wow.
So the 12-tone scale is how we get people to remember things. Subway Eat Fresh. It's do-do-do-do, but it's bum, bum, 5-1. So it does that thing to you. And we don't realize a lot of the underlying psychology and manipulation behind music to make us buy things. It's giving us messages, and it's giving us musical satisfaction to do a thing too. Lots of modern music does this as well, and pop songs and pop music do this often. But they don't have to stay within the rules. They do more so in the advertising world than they do in the pop world. But it has that effect. If you stop a song right before the climax, you're left hanging.
Oh yeah. It's interesting to hear about kind of like those music theories and that you hit on, and because it does make sense. Because in terms of theme songs, and even not theme songs but regular songs, I'll be sitting there doing absolutely nothing, kind of in silence, like just kind of chillaxing or relaxing, and songs I haven't heard in months or whatever, I'll just pop in, randomly, and you just immediately start humming it. And so it is interesting to hear about, like the 5-1 that you're talking about, and the incorporation of that into the theme songs and jingles and that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's very common in jingles, but obviously there's something else about the lyric that you're thinking about, or just I don't know exactly how, because there's trillions of them. There's so many combinations that it could be, but they all follow these very rigid structures, and you can remember all of them distinctly and individually. It's kind of also like your voices. You could hear a relative's voice on a tiny little crackly phone speaker and know who that person is, because their voice has a very unique indicator. So does the sound that I make when I sing, and that you hear, and that unique indicator is maybe something that helps you remember. Gotta catch 'em all. Y2K.
No, that is honestly like really, really interesting to think about.
Yeah.
So I think we'll move on to the third section now, which is learning a little bit about kind of your career as a whole. Because when I was researching a little bit about you in that, the Pokemon theme song was just a small part of your career in that. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your career as a whole. So when you first started out, what were kind of your dreams and ambitions for your career, and where did it kind of lead you to, I guess, to where you are now?
Wow. Well, I started out. I think the starting out happens when I know that I can create on my own. And that means writing songs when I was in the 5th grade. And being able to write these songs and write poetry and express myself with my own unique voice. So I'm still doing that in the exact same way that I did it when I was in the 5th grade, basically. So nothing has really changed, knowing that I can create something and musical, and that it can be captured and put out into the world. Career-wise, you start to sort of get that idea as you become an adult, as I did in my high school years, and aspired to be the rock star that I am, but it's the same rock star. It just looks a little bit different than I had thought it would look. I thought it would look a little bit more like Bon Jovi.
Okay.
And it sounds a little bit like Bon Jovi.
Ooh, she's a little runaway. Daddy's girl learned fast all the things you couldn't say.
But, it sounds...
Gotta catch 'em all.
It's almost the same Bon Jovi voice that I'm using for that. Oh, you know what? I'm in danger of running out of power here. Hold on.
No worries. The next thing I was going to ask you is, what other opportunities and projects have you had that you were able to work on in your career over the years and some of your favorite or most memorable ones?
Well, I think one thing that's really very apparent in this past year is the importance of community. And I have been in Los Angeles building communities, creative communities, for the past 15 years. And I think that's one of the most important things to have is community, and to have a creative community where you can express ideas. And so these three communities are, one of them is Open Fist Theater Community, which every year we do. Open Fist Theater is a group of people that come together. They actually pay money. They pay dues to be part of a company that produces its own theater. Small space with large casts. So
nice.
Everybody comes together and learns a lot, and grows through the incredible works that are created there. And I've done 4 or 5 different shows there, one almost every year for the past many years.
Wow!
But another community that emerges from the Open Fist Theater community that is an incredible, talented group is the Beatles Gospel Nativity yearly show that we do. It's called Both, a Beatles Gospel Nativity. Hold on, I'll show you. Can't run away from the thing with your headphones on. Hold on. It's the Beatles Gospel Nativity, where we retell the nativity story of the birth of Jesus, the miracle birth, through Beatles songs with gospel chorus arrangements that that I created, like,
Work it out. 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 We can work it out. We can work it out. Work it out.
So in We Can Work It Out is a little battle between Joseph and Mary, with the gospel choir singing,
Work it out. Work it out.
telling Joseph and Mary to work it out. It's a great community of people, and we put the show on every year. It grows in size. Now we have about 60 people in the choir, and another 14 to 15 people in the principals, and then we've got all kinds of other people donating their time and energy and resources to put together this massive spectacle in Los Angeles every year. And if you're here and we are allowed, then this year we'll be doing both a Beatles Gospel Nativity once again. We did it online last year, and it was a really beneficial experience just to have that community be online and interact with each other. It saved me from despair, Christmas without what we know to be the most enriching experience of our years for many of us that are part of the Beatles Gospel Nativity. Working together, all donating our time and energy, 75 people coming together. So and we're in our 11th year now. So another amazing community coming together. And also there's another community that's called the For the Record community. I don't know if you can see that posters on the wall. You can't really see it. It's that next one. It's what we do. What For the Record is a group of talented individuals that come together to do. It's almost like movies and cabaret mixed together. It's a theatrical experience where we take all of the best moments from a particular director, Tarantino, Scorsese, John Hughes, the Coen brothers. You take all the Scorsese movies.
Well, you got Joe Pesci in every Scorsese movie doing all kinds of things. You take the Joe Pesci scene from one Scorsese movie, and then Raging Bull, for instance, and then you put it into Goodfellas in another thing, and then you have Joe Pesci sing a song like he sings from one of the movies where the underscore is going, and it makes sense with both scenes and both songs.
Anyway, it's a mashup of all the director's songs and best scenes on stage. And I played Joe Pesci, obviously, in the Scorsese one. But I also was in the Tarantino one and the Coen Brothers one and the Paul Thomas Anderson one, where we did Boogie Nights pretty much live. Best scenes and songs. But we had the characters sing the scenes. Anyway, For the Record Live, they're doing the John Hughes show very soon in Hollywood again when things get back up here. And that's another community of incredible people that, and these are just live communities. The other things that I've worked on, I'm working on by myself on my computer or in studio. But very, very few things have this kind of a growth and community that sustains. And also, there's a voluntary aspect to the Open Fist and to the both Beatles Gospel Nativity community. Everybody, for the record, is getting paid, but we're not getting paid a lot to do these shows. We're still doing it for the love of it and creating theater that blows people's minds. Hit it out of the park, just like everything else I was talking about. That's the kind of theater that I've been involved in. And though it's very exciting to sing a theme song, it's more exciting to be Sam Jackson from Oh, I'm Sorry, Did I Break Your Concentration from Pulp Fiction, and then to launch into Across 110th Street, folks try to get your hooker this week, yeah. And, do a Sam Jackson scene and a song from Jackie Brown in front of a incredibly enthusiastic audience of people just losing their minds because they've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, I didn't realize that those were going on in that. So were those stuff that you had a hand in creating, or you kind of joined in?
No, I've been on those. Open Fist Theater Company's been around for 30 years or more. I joined them with Joe's Garage, which is another amazing community of people. Frank Zappa's Joe's Garage in 2008, I think, or 9 when we did it. God, they don't even put years on things. So I don't even know what year it is. I know it was September 26th to November 22nd.
The months are important. Yeah.
But the other projects, For the Record, emerged out of a group of people singing cabaret at a bar. And then in Los Angeles, of course, with all of our credits and our work on movies and TV and film, one of our cabaret members had done a scene from a Tarantino movie. She was one of her jobs. She was in Death Proof, I think that is the one she was in. So one night when she was singing the song from the Tarantino cabaret, she did the scene from the Tarantino movie. And for the record, that group of cabaret friends was born basically when we mixed the movie scene with the songs from the movie's cabaret. And that's still going today. There's been many successful shows of For the Record Live. And Baz in Las Vegas was one of the best ones. Baz Luhrmann shows. That was one of my favorite ones to be in. And that one went and ran in 2 major venues, Mandalay Bay and then the Palazzo, I think, in Las Vegas. And did incredible. And audiences loved it to watch all Baz Luhrmann's movies combined in one theatrical extravaganza presentation.
I can imagine that, because I'm just picturing it in my head since I haven't seen it in that, but I can imagine it's a lot of energy and stuff packed in together,
You can search on YouTube for, for any of this stuff. It's For the Record at Rockwell or For the Record. We weren't allowed to film things as we got out of the basic stages in the beginning. As it expanded, it became just the people. But you can find some footage of the Vegas shows as well.
Awesome.
But Jason Paige, For the Record, and you'll get me in there just doing all kinds of crazy stuff, singing the songs.
That is awesome. And I like you said, I think if anything, the last 2 years have probably proven how important the community is.
Oh yeah.
In that, and so very, very happy to hear about all the ones that you've got going on and are a part of there.
Yeah, and I'm just back in Los Angeles, fresh back, and hoping to watch the flower open again.
Yes.
And I'm not sure it's opening. I mean, it kind of looks like it is, but these communities have to now deal with regulations and be very conscious of a whole bunch of things and afraid of a whole bunch of things that they weren't afraid of before. So you have to have more empathy for people's like inability to really just come back out and live.
Very true. Very true. So a couple of things I read on Wikipedia. It said that you did background vocals for Michael Jackson and something with Aerosmith as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about that experience?
Pink is my new obsession. Pink is not even the question. Pink on the lips of your lover. Pink is the love you discover. Yeah!
It was my beatboxing with my friend Russ, who was the keyboard player on one of his first gigs with Aerosmith in somewhere in Connecticut, Hartford, I think. They were playing Hartford. My friend Russ, who was in my band, which was the TV show, basically, the What's Up show, got this audition for Aerosmith, and we went up to get him in to play with them at the garage of one of the guitar player's garage, where they had a studio set up. Anyway, he gets the gig, and I'm sort of his tech guy to go to in the first thing. So I show up at the second gig. The second time I'm seen, I think, is when he's at the actual gig backstage. Steven Tyler and him are warming up. Yeah, ga 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 ga, ga 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 ga, and I start going. Yeah, ga 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 ga. Steven Tyler goes, "Oh my God, what are you doing? Holy shit, that's incredible!" And we keep warming up and having a great time, hanging out backstage. And he says, "You got to come out on stage and do that during the show."
Oh man.
I'm like, "You're kidding me, right? You're not. I'm beatboxing here backstage." He's like, "No, no, no." And Pink, when it goes, "Pink is my new obsession." Pink. So I start beatboxing when he starts singing. And he's like, yeah, I'll just tell the drummer to back up. I'll be over on the side of the stage. Hey, Jimmy, hand the mic when he's going to do this thing right here in Pink, all right? Remember to do that here, right? All righty? We're going to do it. It's like this. And he does the drummer and calls everybody into the room and sort of just goes over it with them. And I'm like, yeah, right. This bullshit. He's not going to remember that. So I'm standing on the side of the stage, and there's 25,000 people in a big outdoor arena. They're fucking killing it. Aerosmith is just blowing my mind. I'm like, Steven Tyler is a god. I don't know how the fuck and I'm singing my face off and all kinds of things. I don't know how this guy is hitting these notes, and he's 15 years older than me. Anyway, we get to that part in Pink, and he comes over to the side of the stage, and he grabs the mic from somebody and hands me the mic and pulls me right. But Russ is playing keyboards right in that area where I was kind of by him, so I could watch him as well. And just, beatboxed right to the whole 25,000 person audience for the first time. This continued on for the next few years of me, wherever they were in the city that I was in, I would hang out. and numbers of other beatboxing opportunities with them appeared, like WNEW, Howard Stern, which we beatboxed and that Howard Stern became a remix that you can now search on YouTube. Howard Stern just recently released it, and you can see me and Russ playing with Steven and Joe in Howard Stern's studio. It's really fun to watch. And then a couple of other live performances, different studios and stuff they wanted me to beatbox in. So, it was a fun thing. I've never been paid by them. I'm not an employee by any means. I'm just a roving creative beatbox guy from back in the day in the 90s, before all these dudes were going. They're doing beatboxing like you can't even imagine what's going on right now. I just go. I'm doing beats.
Yeah, no, and
But they're doing things now that you can't even imagine. These new beatboxers. Anyway, that's Steven Tyler and Aerosmith. Michael Jackson comes from a little different angle. I'm in a gospel choir in New York called the Broadway Inspirational Voices. You should check out. For 15 years, I was doing all my time in New York, pretty much. Well, not all my time, but from 1995 till 2007 or 6, I was
Okay.
with Broadway Inspirational Voices. One of their members recommended me for a background group for a gig at the Madison Square Garden, which is the center, massive arena in the center of New York City where everybody plays. And this band was a band that was backing up a whole bunch of radio artists that were popular at the time, like Usher or Let Me See That Song. Baby, make the booty go da 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 dong da dong dong dong. Cisco, or whoever that guy's name was.
Okay.
Whole bunch of radio artists, and then some old people like, oh, now go walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome. Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. I will survive. So we sang backgrounds for all of those artists. The guy who was producing those radio promo events went on to produce with Michael Jackson the 30th anniversary concert at Madison Square Garden. So he took that same band that was doing all the backgrounds
Okay.
for all these different artists. He took a lot of those artists that were up and coming, put them in the Michael Jackson show, and used that same band that was already tight to do it. And I was in that band that did those radio promo gigs, and that just became a Michael Jackson promo gig. And the artists involved in the Michael Jackson 30th anniversary gig were incredible. There were so many artists, I can't even name them all, but Whitney Houston, Usher, Ray Charles.
Oh wow!
They were just
lots of names. Then,
lots
yeah.
of huge names, and we sang backgrounds for all of them. And then Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. And when Slash came out, he did the solo on Black and White, and they didn't have anybody rapping as a guest on Black and White, so I was the guest rapper for Black and White.
Oh, so cool.
It's really fun. And I did a video on that as well. If you guys want to see it, you can check that out
Definitely.
on my YouTube channel, Michael Jackson, Jason Paige, Michael Jackson, Black and White. A lot of people think that the Pokémon theme song was sung by Michael Jackson.
Really?
In the comment section of the Pokémon theme song on YouTube, I thought it was Michael Jackson. All right, I'll take that as a compliment.
I definitely would take it as a compliment for sure. I'll have to go looking through the comments now. Comment sections are always an interesting place. So when you, all of these aspects you've talked about, these different communities you're a part of, these experiences with Aerosmith and that, and then singing the Pokemon theme song, all are extremely iconic moments in that. And so how do they all kind of add up to, your career in that and the different experiences you've got from each one? Are they different? Are they the same?
I think you have to have a well-rounded experience. You have to do things for other people. You have to do things for yourself. You do things for yourself. You do things for your family. You do things for your greater community. And some of the products that I've sung about are patently not good for you. Subway, eat fresh. It's not fresh, guys. It's not fresh. Sorry. Maybe sometimes they make the bread fresh, but who knows where they got the ingredients for that bread. That was not fresh ingredients. They just made it there. Yeah, we put this with this together freshly in front of you, but this stuff was grown in. We don't even know what kind of soil it was grown in or what it was sprayed with, and we couldn't even tell you if you asked. Anyway. Some of the things that I've done have been purely for monetary gain, and advertising is natural. And some things I'm saying because I really need to get messages out. Some of my music online is about my ideas about socio-political issues, sexuological issues, and other sundry observations about the world. And then I do things in collaboration with people. So they're different vitamins you get from those different experiences. Mm-hmm. Being told what to do is really good to help you build your muscles about doing things that you wouldn't have thought of. Being paid to do those things helps you fund your own voice and so that you don't have to do too much of the things you don't want to do to do what it is you want to do. And to, give more meaning and power to your own voice, and then collaborate with with other people whose messages and ideas you're attracted to, like the Open Fist Theater Company and their productions, and like For the Record and their various ideas. Although those ideas are kind of, because they're based on movies, they're commercial at first, but the way that they're represented is explosive and totally engaging and totally new and unique. So, you got to get a little bit of it all. You have to have the discipline,
True,
and then you have
very
to
true.
break. You got to know the rules to break them. Basically,
I think that's a very good way to put it. So at what point in time in your career, amongst the things we've talked about, did the Pokemon theme song, did you record that? Was it, where did it fit kind of in your timeline of your career?
When I was 28 or 29, after my band days had migrated into What's Up TV, went to TV shows, sketch comedy, local celebrity days.
Okay.
I was a local celebrity between the 1995 and 2000 in New York City for my public access cable TV show. All the guys in all of the studios that I would go around to had seen the What's Up TV show. There's very little of What's Up TV online right now because much of it would be banned right now by all platforms. No, but there are blockchain platforms coming up that would accept some of the What's Up humor. It was male-driven, silly, crazy humor. Kids in the Hall meets SNL, but with South Park's extreme behavior.
I get you, yeah.
And that was I was making money singing Subway Eat Fresh, being able to put this public access cable TV show together, and it was generating interest because in New York City at the time there was only a couple of the cable system had like 23 channels on it, and we were like channel 18 on Sunday night at 10 p.m. and channel 17 was MTV. So you're just flipping around depending on your cable system. We'd be right there in front of 12 million potential viewers every week.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I would get recognized on the streets, and the guys in the studios would be like, "Oh, we saw your show last night. You guys are crazy. Oh my God, I can't believe you did this." Jackass type stuff was going on.
Oh yeah.
On the show, crazy. So anyway, that was when the Pokemon theme song was sung, and I was making the rounds to all the studios, two sometimes three a day at that point in New York City. Now we just do sessions online. We just send each other files. I have some people sending me stuff for a jingle. I don't even actually know where. I think there's a jingle house that is in L.A. sending me. They have a writer in New York sending me the stuff back here. So we don't even need to be anywhere anymore. That's when Pokemon came about, right at that time, and and then it didn't return until 2016, like I said.
No, yeah, 'cause I always find it interesting how kind of like the webs align in that when it comes to projects and that. So it's interesting to see what else was going on in your career at the time. And
so many things. And Pokemon is not one of the things going on after I sung it until 2016. I mean, it went on in its own, but it didn't go on in my life. It went on in its own life, which is good. It went on in your imagination. It went on in the minds of people, not with Jason Paige as an artist out there trying to play the song. Like, as if Michael Jackson had sung it, then he would do a video for it, and it would be Michael Jackson singing this theme song he sang. It'd be weird. It would take away from the Pokemon lover's experience. So it's really fortuitous that it did work out this way, that I did not represent it, giving over all of the agency to the Pokemon person for their imagination and what they thought of the song without a person that looks like this attached to it. It kind of messes it up. Some people are like, "Oh my God, it destroyed my image. It's this old guy." It's an old guy with this this balding old guy. Or sometimes people would say, "Oh my, wrecked my childhood. I thought it was Michael Jackson." Or, I can't believe he looks like this.
No, very, very, very true point.
But I didn't look that much different when I was 29. I mean, minus the gray beard, actually. I had bad hair then as well.
So I think that's most of the questions for me. And so one thing we like to do on Y2Nostalgic is we like to get the guests involved with some sort of a game to kind of end the interview off in that. And so I've talked to Jason about this and mentioned the idea of an acapella version of the Pokemon theme song. And Jason, I believe, has agreed to be a part of it.
That's correct. I'm gonna
So yeah,
blast
we're
to
gonna
it.
go ahead and do that. And so a couple of ways we can do this, Jason. If you want, you can go as much as you want, because with your beatboxing and that to create it, and then I'll throw in like my own little flavor here and there. Or if you want, you can purely just do the vocals and leave whatever the rest is up to me, and I will try my best as a non-musician to fill it out.
I'll give you a beat to that way. You keep it on click.
Okay.
You can go as far as you want. You can put 1,000 tracks on it or 10 tracks on it.
Sounds good to me. So with no further ado, Jason, I'll let you take the stage, and I will do what I can in post to add some Just Plain Universe to it.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my realty. Dream them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Get mine to understand the power that's inside.
Pikachu!
It's you and me.
Pika Pika!
I know it's my destiny. Pikachu, you're my best friend. In the world you must defend. Pokemon,
Pikachu!
a heart so
Pika,
true.
Pika!
Courage
Chu,
with
Pika, Chu,
Pika,
Pika, Chu, Pika, Chu, Pika, Chu, Pika, Chu.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
Awesome, fantastic.
You got a little additional. You teach me, stretch out that part, and I'll teach you, which is part of what I'm working on for the new 25th anniversary remix version. So yeah, that'll be out soon. We'll let everybody know about that.
Awesome. So hopefully everybody enjoyed the Acapella Pokemon. And so to end off the first episode here with Jason Paige, Jason has agreed to do a giveaway of a signed Pokemon card. He's showing it there on the screen now, which I can't thank you enough, Jason, for not only being a part of the show, but also, being willing to give away something like this. This is truly a unique opportunity, and I can't wait to get everybody involved in the community for a chance to win this. All right, so you want to enter the Y2KNostalgiK giveaway for the first ever season. Here is the information that you need to know. First of all, you have to be living or residing within Canada or United States of America. Second of all, you have to be over the age of 18 in order to claim the reward. Now, if you're not over the age of 18 and you'd still like to enter, then just make sure that you have a parental guardian enter for you who's willing to provide their age in order to claim the prize. Now that that's done, in order to enter this giveaway, I need you to comment your personal favorite nostalgic show from your childhood, or your favorite nostalgic moment or Pokemon, anything to do with Pokemon or a nostalgic moment in the comments below. So just drop us a comment about your most nostalgic memory from your childhood with the hashtag Y2KNostalgiK giveaway. That is important. Now, any comment in the comment section below is accepted once this video has gone live on July 8th, and we will accept comments as entries to the giveaway until July 31st at 11 p.m. when we will then close the giveaway opportunity. Now, once everything is done, we will then randomly choose a comment from the comments on this video in order to select a winner, and the winner will have to verify who they are in order to allow us to mail them this amazing giveaway. So what are we giving away? It is a signed Jason Paige Voice of a Generation collector's card. Now this thing is awesome, and it's going to be the one signed right here by Jason. This card is absolutely wicked, and he's signing it live on the show for us here, and we're going to be looking to give it away to the lucky comment winner. So with that being said, I think we've covered all the rules, any additional rules, and I advise that anyone who does this goes and reads our official rules, which will be linked in the description below, to ensure that they are available to partake in the giveaway and that they follow all of our rules. And once again, YouTube is not liable for this giveaway. YouTube is not endorsing this giveaway. This giveaway is 100% done by the Just Plain Universe as well as Jason Paige.
You can get those cards if you don't win at jasonpaige.com.
Yes, Jason, also, where else can they reach you and show your love, anybody who's watching this video?
Yes, you can get me at jasonpaige.com. You're going to send me an email, jasonpaige@gmail.com. You can get on my Jason Paige Show Facebook, or you can get on my Jason Paige Instagram. And but most importantly, it's these guys at the Jason Paige shop. And I'll be at Collecticon the 25th, I think it is, or 26th in Texas. So if you guys are in Texas, come on down to Collecticon and get some Jason Paige personal, actual, in-person attention. I'm not just a character on a video screen.
Not just a camcorder, the actual Jason Paige.
I'm a real person. 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 Jason Paige. I'm a real person. Jason Paige. I'm a real person. Jason Paige. Jason Paige. Sorry.
Jason Paige, thank you so much for coming on the show, for being on the first episode. You have no idea how much this means to me.
You're very welcome, sir. I hope it goes well. This, 3.5 hour episode, you can edit down to 3.5 minutes. It'll be great. Just the highlights.
Just rapid fire, exactly.
That's right, rapid fire. Come on. Gold mine, the most watched interview first episode of all time.
Love it. All right, so that's it for us this week. We'll be back next week with another episode for the first season. But otherwise, thank you so much, Jason Paige. And I think that's a wrap. 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 I think that's a wrap.
Wrap it up.
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 That's a wrap.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
It's a wrap, y'all.
Wrap it up.
It's a wrap, y'all. Don't clap, y'all. It's a wrap, y'all. We done, y'all. It's fun, y'all. We out, y'all. It's like it's been a wrap. We've been here, y'all. It's a wrap, y'all. It's a wrap, y'all. It's a wrap, y'all.
A wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
People think I'm rapping when I'm rapping all the time.
That's a wrap. That's a
A wrap, wrap it up.